All right, everybody, welcome back. We are diving deep today
Deep.
into how empires shaped modern culture.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So we've got this document, How Empires Shaped Modern Culture. And honestly, some of this stuff is pretty wild.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Romans,
Okay.
spas,
Right.
bagpipes.
What?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I would not have connected those two things.
No, it's pretty wild. Like, we think of empires as like ancient history, but their fingerprints are like
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget how much they shaped the world. I mean, good and bad, of
Oh,
course.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, they spread ideas and technologies and like ways of life across huge distances, and we still see those traces today.
Yeah. I think a good place to start is to remember that, empires were these massive, like, cultural mixing bowls.
Right. Okay, so where do we even begin?
Well, how about with, like, the most classic empire?
You mean like Rome?
Exactly. The Roman, everyone's heard of them. I mean, their empire, it was huge all across Europe and beyond. And they left behind a pretty big cultural footprint.
Okay, yeah, Rome. So, I mean, when I think of Romans, I think of like togas
Of course.
and baths.
Ah, yes. The baths.
It's kind of funny to think about how something as simple as a bath
Yeah.
could have like such a lasting impact.
Right. But it's not just about, like, getting clean. For the Romans, those bathhouses were like social centers.
Yeah.
Places to relax, to heal, to, hang out with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
And that idea, that focus on, like, wellness and taking care of yourself, that's something we still see today.
Oh, totally. Like spas and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, think about spas, especially in places like Bath.
England.
Yeah, Bath. I mean, the city's literally named after the Roman baths that were built there.
Yeah.
They were built around natural hot springs, and they're still going strong today, thousands of years later.
That's so cool. I never really thought about it like that.
It's really remarkable.
It is. Okay, so Rome, baths, got it. But this is where it gets weird. Bagpipes.
There's types.
Yeah, bagpipes. I always think of like Scotland and kilts and stuff.
Right, Scotland.
Not the Roman Empire.
You're totally right. Bagpipes are, like, deeply connected to Scottish culture today. But the Romans had their own types of bagpipes.
Really?
Yeah. And those Roman bagpipes, they spread throughout the empire. And get this, they made their way all the way to Ireland.
No way.
Yeah. And eventually they became a huge part of Irish national identity, too.
So wait, how did that even happen?
That's the cool part. We don't know for sure. I mean, were there Roman soldiers stationed to Ireland, playing their bagpipes? Or did it happen through trade and cultural exchange? It's kind of a mystery.
Whoa. That's a good mystery, though.
Right. And it just shows you how powerful cultural exchange can be. Something can travel across continents and, like, completely transform.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've talked about Rome. Let's talk about the French colonial empire.
Oh, yeah.
They also have some interesting stories of cultural blending. And I think a good place to look is the Caribbean.
The Caribbean, yeah. So the French colonial empire, I mean, it had a complicated history.
For sure.
But one of the most fascinating legacies is the way that Catholic saints and African Vodou practices blended together.
Okay, Vodou. So for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah. Vodou is a religion that came from West Africa, and it was brought to the Caribbean by enslaved Africans.
Right. So they kind of like merged together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, instead of one religion completely replacing the other, they kind of, like, fused.
Wow.
It's called syncretism.
Syncretism.
Yeah, where different belief systems combine and create something totally new. And what's so amazing is that enslaved Africans found ways to hold on to their traditions while also, like, incorporating parts of Catholicism.
Yeah. It shows how resilient and adaptable they were in such a tough situation.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a testament to the power of culture to survive and evolve. Okay, now, let's move on to the Spanish Empire.
Okay, Spain.
They had a massive impact all over the world. But for now, let's focus on two things that seem totally different.
Okay.
Cowboys
All right.
and tango.
Tango. Okay, so cowboys and tango.
I know it sounds like a weird combo,
It does.
but it shows you just how diverse the Spanish Empire's influence was.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
All right, so cowboys.
Yeah.
When you picture a cowboy, what do you see?
Like a guy on a horse with a hat.
Exactly. The hat, the boots, the lasso, that classic American West image.
All right.
But here's the thing. The roots of American cowboy culture actually go back to Spanish and Mexican vaqueros.
Wait, so you're saying like the American cowboy was inspired by Spanish and Mexican traditions?
Yes. The vaqueros, they were these incredible horsemen, and they developed all these special techniques for herding cattle.
Hmm.
Their clothes, their lifestyle, their whole way of life had a huge influence on the cowboys of the American West.
Wow. Okay, so that's cowboys. What about tango?
Okay, so from cowboys, we go to the dance floor with
Right.
the tango. This super passionate dance,
Hmm.
it originated in Argentina,
Argentina.
which was, under Spanish rule at the time.
Right.
And tango is this beautiful example of cultural fusion. It mixes African rhythms, indigenous dances, and European influences, all reflecting the diverse mix of people that were living in colonial Argentina.
That's awesome. I mean, it's incredible how history and culture all kind of come together to create something like tango.
I know, it's really cool. Okay, ready for another big jump?
Always.
Let's head over to Asia
Okay, Asia.
and talk about the Dutch East India Company.
Ooh, the Dutch East India Company.
Major player in global trade.
Yeah,
They were actually a big reason why Chinese porcelain became so popular in Europe.
Chinese porcelain.
So imagine this delicate, beautiful porcelain.
Hmm.
It became like this super trendy status symbol in Europe.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it sparked all these new design trends.
Wow.
European potters were like, we got to figure out how to make this stuff.
That's wild. I mean, it's kind of like how, like, certain brands or fashion trends become, like, global sensations today.
Exactly. It shows how interconnected the world has always been through, trade and cultural exchange.
It really does. Okay, so we've been all over the map.
We have.
Let's go to Brazil,
Brazil. Okay.
which was, of course, heavily influenced by the Portuguese Empire.
Mhm.
And this brings us to samba.
Samba, this vibrant, exciting expression of Brazilian culture. But its roots, they go all the way back to the musical traditions brought over by enslaved Africans during the transatlantic slave trade.
Wow. So it's another powerful example of how African culture not only survived, but thrived even under, horrible circumstances.
Absolutely. It's truly inspiring.
Okay, so now let's rewind the clock way back to the Persian Empire.
The Persian Empire, all right.
They were actually unexpectedly like pioneers of fragrance.
It always surprises me, this connection between ancient Persian rituals using rose water and
Yep.
like the fancy perfumes we have in France today.
Really?
Centuries apart, different continents, yet there's this link, ancient rituals and modern luxury.
Wow. It's incredible how cultural influences can like transcend time and distance like that.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what other connections are out there just waiting to be discovered.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our final stop, let's go back to Brazil
Back to Brazil.
and the Portuguese colonial empire.
Eh.
But this time, we're talking about something completely different. Capoeira.
Capoeira.
It's like a mix of martial arts and dance. It's so
Oh.
cool to watch.
It's mesmerizing. It really is like a fight disguised as a dance.
Exactly.
And that's actually how it started.
Really.
Yeah, capoeira was created by enslaved Africans in Brazil,
Mhm.
but they weren't allowed to practice martial arts, so they cleverly hid their self-defense techniques, made them look like a dance.
That's amazing. I mean, talk about creativity and resilience.
Right. They took something that was forbidden and turned it into this beautiful, powerful form of expression.
It's inspiring. So from Roman baths to Brazilian dance battles, it's clear that empires, even with all their complexities, left behind this incredible mix of cultural influences.
It's a reminder that culture is always changing, always blending, always adapting.
Yeah.
What we experience today is the result of centuries of interaction and exchange.
It really makes you think, like, what are WE adding to this global mix? How will our music, our fashion, our ideas shape the world in the future? It's exciting to think about.
It is.
The journey of discovery never really ends.
Never.